Hi, Elle Ingalls here at elleingles.com. In December, I'm going to be hosting, for the third year in a row, a master planning session, a pressure-free planning session for 2025. And when I get home, because I'm out in the forest right now, I will go ahead and put the link to all of that for you. So if you want to join us, it's totally free. The people who've been coming year after year absolutely love it, so I had to do it again. So you're welcome. And it kind of goes right into this topic for today. A lot of times people come to me and they feel really stuck. In fact, somewhere on my site, I think it's in my students, family and students, parents and students, there's a testimonial from a young man who said one of the things he loved the most about working with me was getting unstuck and creating goals and plans for his life. And this young man has a terrific life. As I see him like 12 years later, what is he doing? It's pretty amazing. So if you've ever felt stuck, I want to share a couple of reasons why. I'd like to say it's not your fault. Like if you're feeling stuck, you can't take action. Perhaps there's a bit of depression in there or anxiety around taking action. One of the chief reasons why we'll feel that way is because we're locked in the stress cycle. And when we release these stress hormones, it shuts down this part of the brain and also our hippocampus. Those two areas of the brain are necessary for us to even think about the future. If we're going to plan for the future, we need to be able to take a moment, take a beat, think about what's happened in the past, think about what's happening in the present, really assess it in order to create plans about what we really want for our future. And if we can't access the areas of the brain that do that work, then we feel stuck. We can feel really stuck. And so imagine the opposite of that, where you've gained control over the stress response, so you're not releasing all these hormones all the time. And now these areas of your brain are actually working for you. So you have access to your executive decision making. You have access to your memory, and it's accurate. It's not befuddled, or some people say, I feel like I have brain fog, that kind of thing. No, you actually have focus. And then also there's two areas of the brain responsible for willpower. Those shut down in fight or flight as well. So you want to take action, or you want to write down some thoughts about what your next steps are going to be for whatever it is you're trying to create in your life. But you feel this inability to even get started. So what do we do instead? We start binging because we want to feel good. Maybe you'll binge Netflix, or maybe you'll binge alcohol, or some other drug of choice, or food, or chocolate, as someone said the other day in a meeting where I was sharing some ideas. It's chocolate. So the reason we do that is, again, we don't have the willpower. We feel stuck. We don't feel good. We want to feel good. So we turn to things that will help us feel good. Does that make sense? I mean, it's really how your brain works that's determining how you feel. So a lot of times people will say, but these are my feelings. Let's back up a step. Why do we feel that way? Why do we have these feelings? And we'll look at stimuli that are causing us to feel certain things. But let's take it another step and understand the role of the stress hormones in how we actually feel, in what is causing what emotion. It's really fascinating to dig into that and to start breaking the patterns that send us down that slippery slope. So, let's see, I want to do something else here too. And that is, let's say you want to get started on something that is future pacing. So what are some of the first steps? I have a worksheet that is in, let's see, what session is it? Session 5 of my course is a worksheet. And I took a worksheet that I had from one of my mentors and kind of crafted a little bit to pressure free. But it's about asking yourself a few questions. The first question is, what do you really love to do? What do you really love to do? Maybe you're not great at it, but you love to do it. Secondly, what is something that you do well? Maybe you don't love it, but you do it well. The third is, what do other people say you do well? Again, maybe you don't like it, maybe you don't even think you do it well, but other people think you do it well. I see my dear friend Kathy is on here. She and I have performed together. And so we're musicians. And there are times where we might not think we can play a piece very well. But other people will say, oh my gosh, that was so amazing. So sometimes we oh, there goes a deer. Sometimes we will not even give ourselves credit for what we do well. So what do other people say you do well? When I ask my husband this of myself, he goes, oh, honey, you're so funny. And if you watched me kind of, like there was a camera in my house and you were watching me, I do a lot of very funny things throughout the day. Like I can be super funny and super humorous. It's just a thing I do. So what do people say you do well? And then the third thing are bucket list things. So what are some things you want to accomplish or do while you're still here on the planet, while you're you're still here walking around or moving around somehow? What are some things you want to do? And it's funny how much we will limit ourselves. My mother-in-law lived to be in her mid-90s, and when she was 86, I believe, she took herself to Japan. She went all by herself to Japan to see her exchange student that she had back in the 70s. And she met his family. She had never met his family, and she toured all around Japan by herself, and then with them when she got there. So that was pretty amazing. She didn't limit herself. And I remember her being concerned about, getting to the gate and all that. And I said, they'll take care of you. They'll put you in a wheelchair if they need to. Like, they'll take care of you. And of course they do. They want you to get there safely. But that was really eye-opening for her, that you could just, take this kind of a trip in your 80s and have a great time and enjoy things and learn about things. And so what are you curious about? That's another great question. You can also look around your home, your environment, and ask yourself, like, what kind of art is on the walls? What kind of books do I have? What do I do for hobbies? What do I spend my days thinking about or doing? Maybe you spend your time doing things that aren't particularly productive or helpful. It's really easy to be distracted if we don't have purpose. And if we are triggering those stress hormones, we're distracted. And it's very hard to find the purpose. So it's kind of a little catch-22 and vicious circle, but you get to break it. So if this is interesting to you, I'll pop the link when I get home. I will pop the link to my event in December. We meet on a Friday night. I think it's the 6th, December 6th, Friday night, and get to know everyone who's going to be there the next day. And then on the Saturday, we'll go from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, and we'll go through this goal setting session together. It will be really fun. I see a cousin just popped on here. I just met. It's very exciting. So I'll put that link down and would love to have you come. It's totally free. And you'll meet some people that have been working with me for a while too, because I know they're going to show up. So this is just some real concrete reasons why you might feel stuck and concrete ways to start to get unstuck. Hope you have a great day.